Welcome, folks, to a section Bob calls Musings, disturbing signals to democracy, federalism in India, globally. The first one I read and I find that, there's nothing but the center and the CBI themselves to blame. CBI left with limited tools to counter states' actions. CBI cannot challenge the state government's decision as police is a state subject, but it can go to HC or HC in individual cases. I think this may be a good check and balance because the CBI is beginning to be used by politicians at the center to harass people across India. And whether it's this government or the last government, it's just the same, right? And this is another thing that is a jolt for federalism. It says, reverse this move, Haryana's new reservation will hurt everyone. It says the requirement of the bill is that new jobs, the salary below rupees 50,000 will be reserved for locals. This is a recipe for the flight for jobs of the state. India's average annual per capita income is rupees 1.34 lakhs, but Haryana wants to reserve jobs with an annual pay of up to rupees 6 lakhs. That's half the accounting world, which includes blue collar as well as many white collar workers. Prime Minister Narendra Modi has that India presents an ideal investment opportunity. Legislation has been amended to ease the regulatory environment and impart flexibility to labour markets, but if state governments move in the opposite direction, Modi's effort will have been in vain. Haryana's reservation of jobs thus undermines the centre's efforts. I would just take this and tell governments like Punjab and other outward-looking governments to take this opportunity. What Haryana does, Punjab must not do, is actually create an opportunity for this. Here's another disturbing one. Hit by rail halt, Punjab faces power fertilizer shortage. Protesters have cleared goods strikes. State government, railways says state misguiding. I am willing to call railways out on this front. They are lying. This is again holding Punjab to hostage, and they don't know what kind of serious implication this will have. Now, what do you have? Will implement CAA, says Shah on CM Mamta's turf. This is incredible. Back again, bogey out of the work. How do you then, with a straight face, India raises with Bangladesh issues of violence against Hindu families? Like, come on, Home Minister, let's get real. If you aspire to be a party of a nation, you've got to make sure that our neighbors and our foreign policy also syncs, don't you think? Then you have another slippery slope by the BJP and generally a state in peace. But no, they don't want that because they want to be in power there. Tamil Nadu BJP chief defiant says will resume rally. He wants a Murugan rally. I'm not sure how that's going to help Tamil Nadu. I'm not sure how that's going to help India. You guys tell me that. Then, government grants sanction to prosecute Khalid others. The prosecution sanctions from the state. Government gives permission to charge Khalid and JNU student Shrajil Inam Khan under sections of UAPA. I think UAPA is just not right. Especially not for students. I don't care what their age, man. It's just not right. And then you have Farooq Abdullah really looking somber, saying, won't die until rights of my people are restored. Farooq. I guess he's going to live way beyond 100 years, folks. But this is what I want to make a point on, folks, and I'm going to end it today. Huntress rights. Prehistory buries a modern gender stereotype. Hear this loud and clear, all men and all Manusmriti folks. Here's it. When a 2008 archaeological excavation in the Andes Mountains discovered the skeletal remains of a big game hunter buried with an array of hunting tools, it was assumed to be male until lab research revealed a female who lived 9,000 years ago. Shaken by their flawed assumption and subconscious gender bias, the UC Davis team has now made a greater far-reaching discovery. 30 to 50% of big game hunters excavated from the same period were females, guys. Females, big game hunters. We were nothing. This overturns widely held beliefs solidified by 19th century anthropological studies of modern hunter-gatherer societies that hunters were male and gatherers were females. From science and literature to popular culture, products like movies and myth of ancient women receding to domestic roles, unable to meet the physical demands of hunting, stands deflated, folks. Give the credence to the women. Our society has to do the same. Cheers, folks. More later.